Hello, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here with another trip through Eorzea with Gavtia. We're in the first in the Shadowbringers expansion, and we welcome you aboard. Let me check the sound real quick. I'm a one-woman show here. Check the sound real quick. All right. Okay. Sorry about this. Scratch my nose. When I came back to the Crystarium, I realized there were a bunch of blue quests here. I'm going to take a look at picking those up. Anxious Crystarium Guard. In the middle of nowhere, one of the Crystarium Guards is particularly relieved to have found you. Ah, Gav, have you seen Reen? She's been looking for you. Wait here, I'll go and get her. We're waiting for a while, apparently. There's Reen. There you are. The truth is, I need your help. Now, hold on, I haven't even told you what it is yet. Like he's ever going to say no to her, right? After you defeated Emmett Selk, I sensed a strange concentration of light somewhere far to the south, in the empty, the lands that were once swallowed by the flood. Uh-oh. Danger music. I can't tell what it is, but we have to find out. For all we know, it might even be another Light Warden. But whatever it may be, I don't intend to stand by and watch. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Thancred, Eorzea, and I have a few theories that we plan to test once we find whatever's causing this. The three of us were reluctant to ask for your help, considering everything that you've been through. The thing is, you're the only person who can defeat a Light Warden without becoming one yourself, so we have no choice. While we don't want to jump to conclusions, it would be a good idea to have you there just in case. So, will you come with us? I wouldn't have it any other way, or perhaps we should let sleeping dogs lie. Oh, I wonder... Well, let's see what he says with that one. I don't think he'd say that, but I want to see the answer. I see your point, but if we choose to ignore it, we should at least know what we're ignoring first, and there's no harm in taking a look, is there? No, not really. First of all, let's head to the Derrick in Amarang. Thancred and Eorzea should have everything ready by now. Alright, so let's see where the other ones are. The ones down here are the Allied Society quests, so I'm going to skip those for now. Alright, let's see what Lorfeo says. I bet I could do that. What? You've been standing there in silence. Don't you know it's rude to... Wait, are you that mortal bonded to Feo Ul? Well now, isn't this a pleasant surprise? I have a proposal I was meaning to put to you as it happens. Interested? Sure. So, these Skywalker, you can tell I'm a Star Wars fan. So these Skywatchers you see all over, they're good at what they do, but even they can't tell you if it's raining or whatever back on the source, no? But with my help, they could. I could cross the rift, see what the weather's like for myself, come back and share my knowledge with these mortals by whispering to them in their dreams. I could do the same for the Skywatchers on the other side, too. Everyone would have all the answers, and they wouldn't even know how they got them. Ha ha ha! Wouldn't that be grand? Your silence is all the approval I need. Off I go! Due to Lorfeo meddling with the dreams of Skywatchers in the Source and the First, Skywatchers may now provide forecasts for every region regardless of their location. Okay. I'm relieved to know this. All right. There's a fair bit of running around out here. Minstreling wanderer instead of wandering minstrel. Wait, aren't you? Yes, I thought so. Gavtia, correct? You've been keeping very busy if all the rumors are to be believed. Why are you staring at me with such intensity? Pray tell, have I said something to offend you? How in the seven hells did you wind up in this world? You can cross the rift, you of all people. Judging by your cryptic comments, I gather I bear a resemblance to someone you know. But I can assure you that we have never met before, you and I. Don't believe me? Then let us be friends. The more you learn about me, the more you will come to realize how different I am from this other me. I'm a wanderer by trade, but a minstrel at heart. Keeper of tales, a singer of songs, a preserver of forgotten truths. Yet in defiance of my itinerant nature, I have elected to remain here for a time and compose new works. You being a traveling sinner, I'm sure you've seen your share of adventurers. Such stories often serve as the best sort of inspiration. Perhaps I could persuade you to regale me with one or two? Yes. Let's see. As a sinner of the world, you must surely have all manner of exciting experiences to share. I pray you regale me with your finest, that it may inspire me to write a song that shall echo in eternity. What's Titania? I'm all ears, Gav. The most esteemed of all Feyfolk, the venerated ruler of the pixies and the kingdom of rainbows. What tragedy for Titania to go forth in defense of their subjects, only to be corrupted and transformed into that which they fought to defeat. A mad monarch, once beloved, then feared, and finally set free. There, 'tis done, and you shall be the first to hear it performed. For love of the Feyfolk, the king fought light and fell, pure spirit corrupted in thrall to light's spell. 4 treasures did lead him unto the castle door, 4 treasures did free the king from torment evermore. I can only imagine the horror that must have gripped Titania in the moments before the transformation was complete, knowing that the very people you had sworn to protect would soon suffer and die by your hand. It is an all too familiar tale to those of us who have struggled to survive in the wake of the flood. We can but hope that night's return is of comfort to their soul, should some aspect of it endure. With the passing of the light, the Fae now dance beneath starlit skies, where before they mourned, they now rejoice. You made this possible, my friend. I look forward to hearing more of your adventures. Dancing Plague Extreme now accessible. As a sinner of the world, you must surely have all manner of exciting experiences to share. Let's talk about innocence. Do you have a tale for me, my friend? The benevolent savior who would lord over paradise itself, the only ruler fit for a stagnant monument to hedonistic excess, Lord Vothri. But of course he would claim the title of innocence for himself in the end. Cannot speak to whether or not he was a monster as a child, but I can sing of his monstrous deeds and what became of him as a man. Beneath blinding skies, the Lord of Light reigns supreme. From his lofty perch to floating fortress, he retreats to plot and scheme. Heavenly exile, born of man and sin, embrace your ascension, and fall, warden resplendent, in vain pursuit of perfection. Okay, that rhyme was a little rough there. Though he summoned every ounce of his strength as a champion of light, in the end Vothri was no match for the warriors of darkness. He wouldn't be the first to cloak himself in the trappings of righteousness. They are too common by half, some might even say. Nevertheless, I hope his example serves as a reminder of what evil men may do in the name of so-called good. You and Eorzea did well to lay him low. No doubt you will confront other villains in the days ahead, and I should be most eager to hear your full account after. Crown of the Immaculate Extreme now accessible. Talk about Hades. Hades. I have traversed countless lands and heard innumerable tales, and yet that name is unfamiliar to me. Pray, tell me more. The very man who flooded this world in light, that its extinction might bring about the rejoining he sought. An Ascian who lived 1,000,000 lives in pursuit of this single-minded goal until he fell at your hand. There is a part of me that cannot help but feel that it is not my place to tell this man's story, to sing of the ambitions that spurred him to wreak such wanton destruction, and those that compelled you to see that his dream would die in vain. And yet, if you will permit me a moment's indulgence and a measure of poetic license, I would grace your ears with a tune. I call it Requiem for a Hero. His homeland lost to memory. Through eons did he strive. Dark masks he wore, fell plots he hatched to keep vain hope alive. Until the end, that fateful day when shadow clashed with light, true name revealed his dying wish, remember us as we fade into night. That one was better rhyme. A most challenging subject to put into words indeed, and yet I can take some small solace in knowing that the entirety of the tale, in all its tragic and terrible glory, will live on within you. I must say I find it quite fascinating how this Emmet Selk chose to reveal his true name on the verge of the battle that would prove to be his downfall. I am reminded that the Knights Blessed have a similar tradition in which they conceal their true names outside of rare occasions, such as funerals. What significance might the act of announcing his true name have carried for him? A matter to ponder, perhaps, should you wish to fully grasp the nature of your foe, or the shadow to your light. Or of the shadow to your light. Hades' Elegy, now accessible. That is a fun fight, by the way. FC mate said hello. Let's see, where do we got to go now for that last one? Oh, that might be up top. No. There it is. Bethana has it for us. By the time you hear this, Bethana of the Crystarium Guard has a look of grim determination in her eyes. Excuse me, a word, if you would be so kind. We of the Crystarium Guard have a request to make of you. Our researchers are planning to enter the Crystal Tower to learn more of its history. However, there is a problem. Now, what I am about to reveal is strictly confidential. Were word to get out, panic would spread throughout the citizenry. Our scouts have reported that ferocious beasts and bizarre machines roam the hallways. Until we can eliminate these threats, none may enter. Strange ethereal readings have also been detected, and we suspect that the phenomena are linked. The Exarch has ordered us to seek your aid in making the tower safe for our researchers to go about their work. He mentioned that you are better equipped than most to face the dangers that lurk in the tower, though he elected not to go into detail. Is this true? Yep. Then your prior experience may prove beneficial. Come, let us proceed to the entrance. Athanasis, I take it your preparations are complete? Listen carefully. You are to lead a party of elite troops into the tower and respond to any hostility with lethal force. Once the way is clear, the researchers can begin their expedition. Our main objective is to identify the source of the ethereal disturbance. The tower cannot be considered safe until we do. Should you encounter any opposition beyond your capabilities, you are to withdraw immediately. I wish you the best of luck. Ah, we now have unlocked the twinning. Okay. We got more stuff unlocked, which is great. Making sure I've got everything here. Alright, we're going to go back to the MSQ. Moving forward. Let's go to Eorzea. So we've unlocked 3 extreme trials. We've unlocked another dungeon. And we have to speak with Reen near the Derrick, which I think will unlock the normal raids for this expansion. Ah, yes, Master Chai told us to expect you. The Emergent is already filling up with people of all persuasions, free and bonded, citizens and non-citizens. But for you, our guest of honor, we have reserved a place at the front. Right this way, sir. Gonna listen to Chai News give his mayor speech. Looks a little nervous, doesn't he?
Go on, dear.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Eorzea to look around? Tis a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Forthry's rule. Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gate Town too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Eorzea's new beginning. As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Forthry. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Eorzea is reshaped according to a new set of values. No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Forthry must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new. To what manner of nation Yulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today. Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done. Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night. Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future. Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength. For Yulmore!
We clap too. How nice. Hello, everyone who's joined. Wow, there's a lot of people to talk to here. Kaishir says, seeing everybody come together like that, it was beautiful, that was. Rendon. Now our work can begin in earnest. I very much look forward to seeing this Yulmore for the people. Dulia Chai. Wasn't he simply wonderful, seeing him take charge of the room as he did? Oh, it reminds me why I fell for him in the first place. Those two deserve each other somehow. They're just so cute together. The City of Final Pleasures, they used to call this place, back when the world was ending. But now I hope it will become the City of New Endeavors. Vildia, have you noticed how fast the stars move and no one ever mentioned how they spin? Lyndon, save your pretty words about charity and nobility, or whatever nonsense you're on about this time. I'm not interested. Sumimoa, the more things change. Listen, I don't suppose I could ask you to discourage him from drinking any more than he already has, by hitting him over the head, perhaps? Lloyden says, I thought about what I can do for the less fortunate, and I've begun to try to make my dishes with as little waste in the preparation as possible. It's a small thing, but it'll mean more to go around. I hope you're having a good day there. Tachao Roy. Several parlor employees have decided to leave the city, but others haven't, and thank goodness for that. I do like to work, but the idea of running the place by myself is a bit much. Alright, what does Alfino have to say? That was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stirred them to action, I hope. If I have learned anything from all of this, it is that change begins with the individual. It is but a matter of finding the strength to take the first step. Brendan says, assuming my fellow Eomorans can, it shall be my honor and privilege to help them walk this road we have chosen. But we must not forget the individuals who made all of these changes possible. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which the city stands. Oh, Dulia Chai likes that idea. I hate to change the subject, darling, but now that you have officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat? We will not be moving into the emergent, dearest. It's too big for one thing and too far from the people for another. We will retain our current residence, and I will govern here in the parlor. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. I much prefer the view from the parlor. Begging your pardon, Master Chai, but have you got time for a word? Yes. Yes, of course. Hathen Bet? That's me. I liked your speech, but there's folk outside these walls as don't have enough food to last till tomorrow, and more who are counting their crumbs. If you plan to change that, I want to help set things in motion. And we have much to discuss. No sooner do I take office than my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought it upon myself. Thank you again for your help, Gav. I hope to see you again ere long. What a day! I don't know what it means exactly, but I do know I've got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. I had resolved to remain here until such time as Eulmore's future was secured, but it is clear to me now that the city is in capable hands. I have every confidence they will find their way, and I believe it is time we went on ours. With Master Chai at the helm, if only for the interim, I believe I can bid farewell to Eulmore and return to the source with no regrets. Kaishir says, So Alfino's leaving too, is he? Seems like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about what I should do in all this. Like I told you, I spent most of my life dreaming about living here with my friends in paradise. That paradise is gone, but something better's taken its place, and I reckon I want to be a part of it. This Eulmore for the people Master Chai's been going on about ain't gonna build itself, not after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and my friends will find a way to make a difference, though. Help keep things changing for the better. Alfina says, a far nobler dream than the one to which you clung before, and one I am happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I will pray for your success. Kaishir says, well, then when you put it like that, there's no going back now, is there? We've got a few ideas on how we can do our bit, just a matter of taking the first step. Pain and Pleasure Orchestran roll. Oh, beehive yourself. Disciple of the Land or Hand. Okay. Let's see what he has to say there real quick. Kaishir is bursting with enthusiasm, and all he needs is somewhere to direct it. Yeah, if you got a moment, I've been wanting to have a word. Is it true that you're an expert culinarian? That's just one of many, many talents. Who told you that? Alfino's the one that brought it up. Said you've been dealing with the Boutique of Splendors and all. Anyhow, I asked because I was hoping to get your help with something. Bit of a project of mine as it goes. Since I decided to stay here in Eulmore, I've been trying to find ways for people like me to contribute to the future of the city. Thing is, I've never learned a trade or nothing like that, so I was struggling to come up with ideas. After a lot of thinking, I put together a pretty decent plan, but I could do with your professional opinion maybe a bit of help. If you're up for it, what do you say? Sure. It's for a good cause, I promise. I've asked a couple of old mates to meet us outside the beehive, so I'll see you there. Well, let's go talk to him at the beehive. I think this unlocks collectibles in Eulmore. We'll see in a moment. Oh, destinations right here. First things first, let me introduce you. This here's Anfrig, who serves his drinks shaken, not stirred. James Bond. Yes, as the saying goes here in the beehive, fancy a shake. Reactions vary, and as I'm sure you can imagine, it's a pleasure to meet you. And this is Bastasea. I also work in the beehive, though my talents tend more towards whining and dining. Winding and grinding, whatever our patrons desire. Anyway, a friend of Kaishir's is a friend of ours. We grew up together in Gatetown, close as family. All three of us are orphans, so we had to stick together to survive. We shared everything we had, right down to our last crust of, well, whatever was available. That's why we promised each other that we'd find a way into Eulmore no matter what it took. But Anfrig and I were chosen, while Kaishir was left behind. Can't tell you how glad we are to be reunited with them after so long apart. Anfrig says, and we've been through a lot, him more than most, but we're all here now. I never thought I'd see the day. I hate to say it, but the way things are going, there might not be a reason for us to stay in Eulmore. So much has changed since the fall of Vothri, and business at the beehive has really dried up. Anfrig says, well, I am all for this city becoming a fairer place to live. We need to face facts. At this rate, places like the beehive will struggle to stay afloat. If we were to be let go, the chances of us finding similar work here would be slim at best. Kaishir says, you're not thinking about leaving Eulmore, are you? Bastasea says, to be honest, we don't have much choice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I said I'd sort something out, didn't I? Got a plan to bring visitors into Eulmore, and I want you two to be a part of it. It's also why I brought Gav here. His skills as a culinarian are going to solve all of our problems, I swear. Gav's going, wait. I'm going to save the world with cooking? Well, how wonderful it is to see my employees engaged in such lively conversation. Sorry about that, guys. Anfrig says, the queen bee. Sorry, sir. I'll get back behind the bar. No, as you are. In fact, Mistress Moen and I were discussing ways in which the beehive's fortunes might be improved. It was then that we overheard you. And my ears pricked up when you mentioned the possibility of attracting new customers to Eulmore. Given the current state of affairs, this would be most welcome. Would you share your ideas with me, young man? I ain't a businessman or nothing, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm off the mark here, but seems to me that under Vothri, Eulmorans forgot what it means to actually work for a living, and most of the old industries disappeared altogether. Still, there are a few things left over from those days that we can put to good use. Such as the entertainment. Eulmorans ain't the only ones who like to have a good old knees up, you know? If we open up the City of Final Pleasures to visitors, we'll be raking in the gill. What better way to do that than telling everybody about the beehive? Of course, word of mouth will only get us so far. But if you put me in charge of promoting your establishment, I'll do whatever it takes to bring in people from every corner of Norvrant. Moen says, I say your enthusiasm is positively infectious, and for a self-confessed amateur, I find you remarkably persuasive. He's surprised. He's like, no. I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is certainly in line with Master Chai's aim to foster trade with outsiders. And as far as I can see, the beehive stands only to gain from this most worthy of endeavors. I am therefore placing you in charge of advertising the beehive. All right, then. Since I have a vested interest in the success of this undertaking, the Boutique of Splendors will gladly grant rewards for bringing much-needed custom to our doorstep. Queen Bee says, but first you'll need to look the part, and I have the perfect ensemble in mind. In the meantime, I would have the two of you resume your duties. When the time comes, I should like you to provide assistance in any way that you can. Henfrey says, our knowledge and expertise are at Kai Shear's disposal, sir. I gather that you are here at the lad's request, yes? I can only guess as to what it might entail, though I dare say all shall become clear soon enough. I bid you good evening. Thanks. See you later. Oh, Kaishir's outfit's kind of cute. I'm surprised you recognize me in this getup. I have to tell you, I ain't used to wearing nothing like this. Still, if I'm the advertised place like the Beehive, I suppose I've got to look the part. Not that it really matters for our first task, though. While I was getting measured for my outfit, I was thinking of how we could convince everyone to come and spend their hard-earned coin in the Beehive. Rather than shouting from the rooftops, it'd be a lot easier if we gave out flyers everywhere. I ain't just talking about a handful, though. I'll need hundreds, and that means I'll need paper, ink, and something to print them with. The last one's the trickiest, but it'll speed things up like no one's business. Do you think you can get those for me? There was one other thing. Oh, right, payment. Of course I ain't expecting you to do it for free. I'll be getting scripts and whatnot from Moen, so I'll send a few your way. Sounds all right to you? Sure. Thanks, I owe you one. Or I will once everything's been sorted out. All you have to do is bring me the stuff for the flyers and I'll take it from there. Okay. Could take mushroom sauté or blood tomato salad. Or maybe we got both, I'm not sure. Custom delivery is unlocked for Kai Shear. Okay. I'll have to make those things up later and go back to talk to Alfino again. Elfino wears a satisfied smile, seemingly content with the state of Yulmore. Truly, to see Kaishir thus inspired by our actions is inspiring in itself. Yet however much I may wish to stay and see what comes of his efforts here in Yulmore, we have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we should return to the Crystal Tower. Mayhap Beck-Lug's studies have borne fruit in our absence. Let's go back to the Crystarium. Vows of virtue, deeds of cruelty. Yulmore is in Master Chai's capable hands. The future looks bright, and even the long-suffering Kaishir seems to have found both place and purpose. Yet there are still problems that remain to be solved, not least those of your fellow scions. Alphino suggests returning to the Crystarium, hopeful that Beck-Lug has made headway in the research. Do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Just say the word, and I would be happy to escort you to the Ocular. Yes, please. Let's see what everybody else has to say. Alphino says, "It would seem Eorzea has yet to return from the inn at Journey's Head. I do hope she doesn't overtire herself." Beck-Lug says, "I take it you are ready to resume our work." Shtola says, "In the course of preparing more Auracite, we made a significant discovery. We thought it best to wait for your return before sharing our findings." Riange says, "My congratulations, Gav. Glad tidings from Yulmore did precede thy coming. I will see that Thancred and Reen hear of these momentous events, that they too might take joy in that which thou hast helped to bring about." Hey, congrats, Gav. Good news from Yulmore preceded you coming. I'll see that Thancred and Reen hear of these fantastic events so that they can share the joy that you've helped bring about. Let's hear Urianger speak for the moment. Welcome back. We were given to understand a new mayor has taken office in Yulmore. Indeed, our good friend Master Chai was elected by popular vote and, after some considerable soul-searching, chose to accept the post. It is a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you will see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Auracite? Our work did not proceed quite as expected. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference and concluded at length that White Auracite was ill-suited for our purposes. But, Urianger, did you not say that, compared to the massy soul of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? Urianger says, "That I did, and armed as we are with Beck-Lug's invaluable insight, 'twould indeed prove a trifling matter, were we to disregard the inviolable link betwixt mind and soul." Okay, that I did, and now that we know from Beck-Lug's invaluable insight, and would be a trifling, tiny problem if we were to disregard the, link between mind and soul. A link which would, we did belatedly realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant, as Auracite doth require. Thus, the shedding of these fleshy simulacra and the surfeit of ether which compriseth them would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. Alright, let's translate that. Alright, a link which would, if we realized belatedly, it would be weakened terribly in the process of putting our souls dormant, as Auracite requires. So the shedding of these simulacrum bodies and the amount of ether that comprises them would likely deprive us of our psyches as well. Beklug says, it would theoretically be possible to channel your minds into the Orsite instead, but we would more than likely sacrifice your souls in the process, which is why we have abandoned that plan and instead devoted our time to finding a means by which mind and soul might be transported together. Alfino says, then we are no closer to a solution than when we first began. It is a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has posited a most intriguing solution. The Exarch says, when our discussions turned to the transference of memories in the psyche, I could not help but be reminded of a technique with which I have personal experience. Gav, do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Doga and Une? I speak of the royal eye of the Allagan imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of the ancient Allagans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the Crystal Tower. Beklug says, if we were to gain an understanding of the technology by which the Allagans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we would keep mind and soul together. This background music is really nice. Riange says, imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also the bountiful energies of the soul. So Riange says, imagine, if you can, a device like a soul crystal, filled with not only our worldly memories, but also our soul energy. Crystal Exarch says, that is our current avenue of investigation, and we will follow it wheresoever it leads. Stola says, while we were thus engaged, I think it best that Gav return to the source and inform Kryl and the others of our findings. Alfino says, agreed. I imagine Tataru will be relieved to hear we've made progress of a sort. Riange says, then I would beg leave to relay our findings unto Thancred and Lorene, and to assist where I may in their investigation of the empty. So, okay, then I would love it to be able to relay our findings to Thancred and Lorene and help wherever I can in investigating the empty. The Exarch says, yes, please do. Should we have need of your counsel, we will not hesitate to summon you. Alfino says, give our regards to Tataru, won't you? Y'shtola says, Beklug insists we resume our work forthwith, but I grow weary at this thought. What I would not give for a cup of tea and perhaps a vanilla tart. Maybe we could bring it back from the source. Alfino says, with the benefit of our combined knowledge and the aid of the first leading authority on soulcraft, we must surely be able to find a solution. Surely. Stop calling me Shirley. Beklug. Beklug says, I pray the link to our bodies and in your world will endure a while longer. Should it fail, our efforts will be for naught. Exarch says, mark my words, Gav, we will unlock the secrets of the Allagan Eye and see the others returned home. There was a time when I thought these eyes a curse, you know, but for what they have enabled me to do, and what they may yet make possible, I see now they are a blessing. All right, Revenant's Toll. My kitten is sacked out on my desk here, next to me. She was a little pistoled earlier today, man. She was running around like a maniac. Isildur, pleasure to see you, Gav. I cannot well imagine what sort of world the first is or adventures you had, but that you have returned to us safe and sound is of great comfort. Alion says, not that I expected any less, but 'tis good to see you home and unharmed. I'm pleased to report that Arnveld and his fellow primal hunters have upheld the peace while you've been away. Does Fami say anything? Mistress Krile has apprised us of the Archon's present and unexpected situation. You may rest assured we will support her in any way we can to keep their bodies safe. Anybody else around here? I don't think there's anybody here right now. Everybody's out in the field doing their thing. Gav, you're back. How did everything go in the first? Wait, don't tell me. Krile will be here shortly and she'll want to hear too. She's just tending to the others. Their bodies, I mean. Gods. I don't think I'll ever get used to saying that. Anyway, you can tell us everything the moment she gets here. Upon speaking with Tatara, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. And when they say that, they mean it. So. Wait for Krile's return.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I've carried out the treatment as per Master Matoya's instructions. It should slow the destabilization of their corporeal ether quite significantly. But tell me, how fare our friends in the first?
So we're gonna fill them in on everything that's been going on.
So this Becklug's the first to lead an authority on soulcraft, are they? Sounds promising.
And Eorzea's proffered solution of white auracite is rather ingenious now that I think of it. Well, while they press on with their preparations, you may rest assured we will continue to do our part here.
Oh, you're back.
Ah, Stinian.
And none the worse for wear, I see.
Estinian! Oh, thank the gods! We've been worried sick. Did you lose your link pearl or something?
It's like, oh, my friend, you are back.
The situation in Garlemald has become more complicated. I was making my escape from the capital when I ran into one of yours, Riol. He thought it best we come straight here.
More complicated how?
Where to begin? After entering the Empire via Razat Han, I went about my mission of investigating Black Rose. It was then, inside a provincial factory, that I encountered the one who styles himself Shadow Hunter, Gaius Eorzea. Our goals being apparently aligned, we joined forces and ventured on into the heart of the capital, to the very Imperial Palace itself. There, we found a man whom all assumed dead. But his soul lives on, and he has wrested back his flesh. Xenos ye Galvus.
Oh, yay.
Nor did the surprises end there. For no sooner had we arrived than he murdered his sire in cold blood. The Emperor is dead. This sent Gaius into a rage, and he charged in, blade drawn.
Oh. Both Krile and him. I've seen him in action, his body at least. You will not best him alone. Guy says, nay, death will not come easily to that thing. If you would join me, then by all means. For what good it will do. The Black Wolf and the Azure Dragoon. I suppose this might suffice. Come then. Ah, the simple pleasure of one's own flesh. Truly, there is no place like home. Guy says, abomination. Stinian says, whatever he is, Gav was barely a match for him. If we stay here much longer... Emperor Varus, your radiance! Are you all right? We may wear out our welcome. Julia says, your radiance, no! Xenosia Galva says, must even the most middling of sport be spoiled? The world conspires to bore me. Yet I have no cause to remain. I leave these vermin to you. Xenos. Well, any bright ideas? Just one. Oh, nice shot. Ah! Anya, your radiance! The intruders have taken flight. I repeat, the intruders have taken flight. Deploy all available Magitech armor. We cannot let them escape. Alright, in the coming battle you will fight as Stinian Wormblood. Alert, alert! Intruders detected in the Imperial Way. Oh my gosh, we're not even going to get time to do this. We have Kurth and Torment combo, Sky Dragon Dive, and Aqua Vitae. I was hoping we'd have time to, like, go over this, but no. Torment is your 1, 2, 3. Skydag and Dive is your dot, so. Alright, we're gonna stay out of these line AoEs. Let's keep moving. Ugh, there's no end to them. You won't escape, Gaius Van Belsar? When your health gets low, you want to, of course, bring it down. Or, I mean, use the Aqua Vitae. Anya and Julia are not targetable right now. I think not. Damn it. Anya says. This way, quickly. So you want to dot them with Sky Dragon Dive and use that as an AoE. We make ourselves easy marks by moving together. I suggest we split up. Alright, then I'll take the low road, so to speak. I mean, you just dive down there. We'll see you outside. Stay safe. I don't know if we go this way or what. Nope. Okay. Prison Torment, that's your combo, 1, 2, 3 combo. So if you need to take on a bunch of ads, do Sky Dragon Dive. I would do that on cooldown. That keeps your damage over time up. We may have changes in skills, too. Well, well, someone's been busy. Ooh, dear. Volatile prototype, Arch Ultima. And you would bar my way, would you? So be it. Come, Nidhogg, lend me your strength. I don't know how long we're going to have to be able to, before we initiate combat, so I'll try and do this quick. Seems you've been afforded an impromptu field test. Ready all battle data. Begin sequence whatever. Alright, Alamorn delivers an attack with a potency of 3000, absorbs a portion of damage dealt as HP, so that's kind of a self-heal. Drakenlance delivers an attack with a potency of 500, gives damage over time. That's going to be important. Horrid Roar delivers an attack with a potency of 600 to all nearby enemies, as well as enemies in proximity to those initially affected. This action does not share a recast timer with any other actions. Stardiver delivers a jumping fire-based attack to target and all enemies nearby it, with a potency of 1500 for the first enemy and 30% less for all remaining enemies. Dragon Shadow Dive. This looks like our limit break. Okay, so we're going to be charging that up. All right. We want to keep Drakenlance Dot up on Arch Ultima. Okay, when Sigs... Okay, we'll get some signifiers. Become targetable, use Horrid Roar. We'll use Horrid Roar to defeat the bits. When Dragon Shadow Dive becomes available, use it on Arch Ultima. All right. We want to keep the dot up, so we're going to use Draken Lance on cooldown. But this Alamorn gives us some health back, so we're going to use that a lot too. Horde Roar for AoE damage. Alright. I'm going to save Star Diver. You want to go to the side of that, or behind. You can watch your dot. That tells you how many seconds you've got left. Not much time. I said ready the battle down. Damn you. Now loading data sample 14. Angry salamander? Okay. If you would bar my way, then feel the fury of Nidhogg. Gotta keep moving all the time here, it looks like. I'm gonna take out these Praetorianos. I don't think I can get up to the guys up top. Let's dot him again. I think we probably want to stay out of whatever that is. Oh, okay, yeah. See how it was pointing in a direction? It's not working. Ready another sample. The one taken from Castor Mabania. Let my dot go down. Alright, we want to be behind him for that again, because it's going to go left, right, and forward. Increase generator output to maximum. Activate the Magitech. Full power. Unstoppable. We shall see about that. Okay. Nidhogg, show your fury. Nice. As soon as that becomes available, you use it. Garleans and their machina. Now, where are you, Gaius?
Are you all right?
Cryo looks a little...
Peer into my past, did you?
Cryo looked a little, dazed there. It's like Estinian, like I had any choice in the matter.
Well, I didn't quite relive the experience as you did, but I bore witness to it all.
I'm still not sure what I think of this gift of yours. But no matter. Our confrontation was cut short when the Imperial Guard arrived. It was then that Xenos took his leave, citing boredom.
I like that.
To think their research into the Echo could bear such fruit. Escaping death, jumping from one body to the next, and returning to his own after all this time. He is an Ascian in all but name.
It beggars belief, aye. But no more than a hero traversing the rift between worlds. My concerns are far more prosaic. With the Emperor dead and the Crown Prince missing, the Empire is in disarray. Until order is restored, assuming it even possible, we needn't fear an Imperial reprisal. And for reasons of his own, Xenos took it upon himself to rid the world of Black Rose. Riol has already gone to apprise the Alliance leaders of these developments. We may leave the matter in their hands for now.
Then perhaps we have seen the last of the fighting at Gimlet. Though, if it comes to civil war, I cannot help but fear for the provinces. Ah, I'd nearly forgotten to ask. What became of Gaius? Did he not escape with you?
That he did, but we parted ways shortly after leaving Garlemald. He claimed another threat had arisen which demanded his attention. He didn't elaborate, but the absence of some device or other in the capital gave him reason to believe they're planning something. Lest you worry, I believe he has well and truly shed the Black Wolf's pelt. Conquest is no longer his objective. We may safely leave him to his own devices.
Well, it's nice to have one less foe to worry about, even if we do have a mysterious new threat to look out for instead. Speaking of which, I'll see that Riol and Al Shinobi are made aware. Though we still know next to nothing, it can't hurt to be vigilant.
Always.
Well then, with Black Rose nipped in the bud, I believe I've fulfilled my part of the bargain.
That's true, but with the Archon still slumbering away, we were hoping you might agree to stay with us for a little bit longer.
Sorry, but I'm not inclined to extend my contract. Gaius isn't the only one with business to attend to.
Aww.
Thank you for your help then, Estinian. I see why Alphino admires you so.
Farewell, my friend. See that you don't make a habit of dozing off in battle.
Too late.
I suppose we should all be getting on then. As ever, we will see to the Archon's needs. In the meantime, why not get some rest? You've more than earned it. Go on.
But I don't want to rest. I want to see what's next. Alright, speak with Tataru. I'm going to speak with Kryle first. Though they have yet to find a workable solution, Y'shtola and the others are making progress, and we cannot ask for more than that. Tataru says, "You must be shattered after all that hopping back and forth between worlds. Why not stay here and rest for a while? I'm sure Beckflugan can manage without you. They've got enough scions to help them, if you ask me." Let me, pick that up on Summoner, I think. Meanwhile, in Garlemald, Third Legion Centurion, traitors! You would dare deny Lord Nerva the throne? Oh! Yep, Civil War's broken out. First Legion Centurion, onward! Before this day is done, victory shall be ours. Boring, boring, boring. Do you think? I find it amusing. Like dogs herding cattle to the slaughterhouse. That hue. Your soul is... Who are you? White-robed figure. Before your majesty, I am but another dog, lost in want of a new master. A hunting dog, if you should wish it so. For I know full well the prey you would seek next. Zodiarch. Meanwhile, in Yulmore in the First, did you hear? The mayor's reopening Daedalus Stoneworks, and they're looking for laborers. There's talk of settling some of the old abandoned villages, too. They're even laying on free talos to help anyone willing to make the move. Free talos? Huh. We'd best get packing. Steady work, board and lodging. If that's not a recipe for hope, I don't know what is. Hope? Uh-oh. Wayward warrior. Yes, so long as I yet live, I would see that feeble flame rekindled. It is my destiny to see our dream fulfilled. The achievement black and white. Completed the main scenario quest, Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty. Tataru says, Gav, might I ask a favor of you? I'm not normally one to pry, but Flamine has been oddly distracted ever since you came back to tell us of your travels in the first. Would you go and see if she's all right? Kral is glad for your return, though it remains to be seen if she has glad tidings to share. Hi, kitty kitty. Gav, my, what a pleasant surprise. If you've come to inquire after the Archons, fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal ether. We mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If only we could go with you to the first and help. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Hold on for a moment. Sorry about that. My daughter had to ask me a question. We had to kind of work on some logistic things real quick. Maxima says, Gav, it's been far too long, my friend. Forgive me, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garlean ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under the auspices of Commander Aldine, offering what counsel I can in the hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Yes, I've heard stories of a defector from Garlemald, but never mind that. You said you have urgent news. Indeed, as you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Garlean forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dark. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that this de-escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Gav doesn't look too happy about that. Commander Aldine has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished I extend the invitation. Kral says, it would seem time is of the essence. Well, you'll not be attending this meeting alone, though I am not as well versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades. I see no reason to burden a single Scion with all this. Yes, of course. Then we must make for the Alamegan quarter with all haste. Tataru says, well, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two. Does Tataru have anything else? Don't worry about the others. I'll keep an eye on them while you and Kral are away. Speak with Maxima at the Alamegan Quarter in the Locks. I get so freaking lost in this place. It's just... I don't know if we have some fighting coming up or not, so I'm gonna go back to Reaper. Crisis. Much has changed since the first time we set foot in this city. Now we strive to preserve their freedom rather than reclaim it. But we have no time to reminisce. We mustn't keep the commander waiting. Maxima says, Commander Aldine waits us in the royal palace. If you would follow me.
They're here, Commander.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark. Not that I understand half of it. When the Scions spoke of other worlds, I'd struggled to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury. I trust you two require no introduction.
Nope.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea. Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
Roban, always the pragmatist. Gav's going, I don't know about this. But I'll live with it for now.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence. Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but. And upon further investigation, I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
Of course they are.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed. Few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanis, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea.
It's like, no!
We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope. Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon, and emerged victorious. We need you. And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
That'd be a tough choice. As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day the plight of the Scions grows ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the Ultima weapon, I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to the first. Oh, what's this blue quest here? Ruby Doomsday. The Resistance and Alliance forces prepare in earnest as a new threat looms on the horizon. Ah, yeah, glad you could make it. As you may have heard, Commander Aldine has given orders to embark from Alliance headquarters to hold back the advance of the Empire's latest menace. Not that the soldiers stationed here are too chuffed about being on the front line against these new weapons. If they're designed to slay primals, they'll make short work of us mere mortals as well. Mind you, it's Gaius Belsar and his followers who've led the charge so far. By all accounts, they've been giving as good as they get. Unfortunately, their sorties have met with little success. I dare say they'd benefit greatly from your presence on the battlefield. If you're ready, my colleague over at Porta Praetoria will show you the way. Hey, that unlocks the normal raid series. Krail can see the steely resolve in your eyes and suspects she knows to where duty calls you. I take it you're ready to return to the first. Then I would ask that you apprise the others of recent events here in the Source, namely Xenos' return and the development of a new Ultima weapon. As for their bodies, you can assure them Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal ether stable. Safe travels, Gab. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. The way home. Hey, have to go to the Crystarium again. Go to the Docile Gate. you have business with the Crystal Arc? Next Arc? Yes. Let's go to the Ocular. You've come at a most opportune time, my friend. I've made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and a means to return the Scions home. I trust you too have been making good use of your time. Ill tidings from the source, you say? Then I will summon the others that we might all be apprised of the situation.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source? A new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Yeah, the situation bears close observation. That there's no doubt of that, and it magnifies our need to return to the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Eorzea and Beklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
Okay, though the vessel has the, required qualities to hold mind and body, or hold mind and memory, we still need a means to receive them into the vessel. And for that, we have to imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allagan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
Oh, just so, milady. The blood serves as a conduit of sorts. Without it, memory can't pass from mind to mind, nor from flesh to crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allagan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
Gav says, I know.
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
Lena is always the bearer of bad news.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Okay. King Salmon Meunier. Creamy salmon pasta. And rare roast beef. I'm gonna take the Night World silver piece or whatever the heck it was. Let's see what Y'shtola and everybody else has to say. To think we will not only have Xenos to contend with once we return, but a new ultimate weapon as well. Why must all our enemies insist on returning from their graves? Upon White Eorzea crystalline foundation, we have built not a prison, but a refuge for the soul. Would that Moonbrita were here to see the wonders inspired by her research. Okay, we built not a prison, but a refuge for the soul on White Eorzea's crystalline foundation, and I wish that Moonbrita was here to see the amazing work inspired by her research. Bekalug. Never have I seen such a repository of knowledge, a stark reminder that what little we truly know of the world. Exarch says, it may simply be my imagination, but Lena has been rather brusque with me of late. You don't suppose she's still upset over that mishap with the salmon fillet, do you? Probably not. Probably not. Alfino is eager to assist Captain Lena. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it will be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak with Lena? Yes, let's do that. I need to check something real quick. Do they have anything else for us? Nope. Ephesus, I suggest we hurry. Lena does not strike me as one who enjoys being made to wait. No, she's really not. We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. Ephesus says, a Sin Eater? I had heard some few yet remained after the night had returned, but perhaps we should call the others. Lena says, that will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater. A simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. Me? Why not Alfino? Or let's be about it then. Me, why not Alfino? Like, oh, come on. You cannot be serious. Come now, Gav. What could be more inspiring than fighting alongside the renowned Warrior of Darkness himself? Go, yep, I'll do it. Excellent. Then let us make for Fort Job. I don't know if it's Job or Job. The Sin Eaters that remain no longer have a leader to guide them, but they are no less dangerous. They cannot be suffered to live. If you would wait here a moment, I will gather the others. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they awaited the opportunity to fight at your side. Convalescent Guard, I was at death's door that day after the Sin Eaters attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I'd have likely stepped through, and I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. Steadfast Guard, I too was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a Sin Eater before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field, of holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her or my comrades, so I have returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. Ardent Scout, a pleasure to meet you, sir. Truly, it seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride an Amaro to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think the Yomoran soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side. But we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. We seem to be missing one. Honest soldier. My apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmelt. It took longer than I anticipated. Lena said, I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. It won't happen again. The name's Thaler. I'm sure you don't remember, but we once met before in the infirmary. I asked you to deliver a message to the Exarch and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up. Don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart, and the boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. My friend got to see the knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. But there are countless others who weren't so fortunate. They gave their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know. So it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up. We won't give in. Nina says, your heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging point have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let us not keep them waiting. I still can't fly. I'm not sure why. Got all the ether currents. Oh, a little graveyard. Got all the ether currents. Got all the blue quests. I don't know. So here we ride along. Gallant guardsman. If I hadn't seen him with my own eyes, I'd have sworn it was you who killed that Sin Eater. Crystarium Scout.
Did you slay this Eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
By himself? Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness? And he says, no. I'm a warrior of light. And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
Oh.
A warrior of light? Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the warrior of darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Well, let's go do that.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating. Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man, a younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
You could say, anchors keep us where we have chosen to be, or he's lost without you, you know, and he misses you already. And do the latter.
Are you sure? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief.
Like grandfather and granddaughter.
In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work.
Good for you, Lena.
This research is important, I know. But if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
There you go. Her mind at ease, Lena is ready to return to her duties. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their posts. Speak with Elfino. See at the Crystarium? Yeah. By the docile gate. Give business with the Crystal Exarch. Just say the word. Yep. Let's go to the Ocular again. Have anything more for us? An adventurer calling himself a warrior of light. Why would anyone tie themselves to the legacy of individuals held in such low regard in the first? Warriors of light, harbingers of the flood and all the world's woes. That this wanderer would so boldly claim their title is most curious indeed. That doesn't need translation. Beckflug. 'Tis strange to think how heroes so beloved by the people could be brought so low in so short a time. As she knows the truth. Or he, or I don't know what Beckflug is. Alphino tells me a warrior of light has slain the Sin Eater. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what to make of this. Ah, yes, I was hoping to speak with you about, On second thought, never mind, it would be rude of me to pry. He wants to know what Gav said to Lena and vice versa. Alphino says, the others were quite shocked to hear of what we found in Lakeland. But now that you're here, there is a proposal I should like to make. I have been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I have noted more and more people perusing books on history, the years leading up to the Flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light, as well they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as Sin Eaters or worse. Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance, in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors, may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. Urianger says, I too can attest to the falsehoods found within full many of the Cabinet's tomes, with nary a mention of the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. Yeah, I can verify the lies found in many of the Cabinet's books, and with not a mention of the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. Y'shtola says, to be fair, they bear some responsibility for the Flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I am not surprised to see their roles distorted and them painted as villains. The Exarch says, were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, that knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, their reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remained those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the Flood. Beckflug says, considering all the good they had done, I find it a wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Verbert. That such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as Sin Eaters is absurd. Under normal circumstances, I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew firsthand of their deeds dwindled. In the end, only one truth remained, that they were the cause of the Flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the Warriors of Light to become villains deserving only of resentment and hate. Y'shtola says, at that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. Thanks to all of you, however, their lot has changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. You claimed it was Ardbert who helped you overcome himself, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who knew him or know him only as a villain. I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. To that end, I say we proceed with Alphino's plan. We call together the people of the Crystarium and recount to them the true tale of the Warriors of Darkness and the Flood that followed in their wake. Well, what say you, Gav? Spread the word, I say. I wish we'd done this sooner. In hindsight, I agree, but better late than never, no? Exarch, might I ask you to continue working with Beckflug on our means of returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium in the Excedra. We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread and more will accompany them. Luke says, I have seen many a great and terrible thing in my long life, as has the Exarch, no doubt. Of man I can say this, his memory is short, his heart fickle. Let us pray that your words reached him. The Exarch says, there can be no darkness without light, and so it was that Ardbert was there in your hour of need. The people must be told. So we got a lot of people to go talk to. I don't know if they're up top or what. I think they are up top. Okay. Just me, you. Yeah, what a wonderful surprise. Though I hope your being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had far fewer patients coming through my door of late, which is a shame, come to think of it. I've had fewer opportunities to test my new medicines. That's humor only a doctor could appreciate. Of course. It's actually been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now and then. The truth about the Warriors of Light? But the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, if there's more to the tale, I'd very much like to hear it. Let's go to the Musica Universalis markets. Talk to Bragi. Come to browse wares in the market, have you? Well, I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding what you need, whatever it may be. Under Eulmore's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Word is that fellow from Daedalus Stoneworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? Little wonder business is booming the way it is. Imagine it won't be long before all of Norvrant reaps the benefits. But you've not come here to talk about the market. Something on your mind? I see. The Exarch did mention they had something to do with your returning the knight to Norvrant. All right, consider my interest piqued. Linard, well, to what do I owe the pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you be brief. With the night return, visitors have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I find myself too busy by half. I don't mind it, though. Seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. Warriors of Light, yeah. Yes, the Exarch has mentioned them before, but everyone knows them now as the cardinal virtues. Or are you suggesting there's more to it than that? Well, you've yet to steer us wrong, so I'm willing to hear what you have to say. Let's pick up this summoner quest here real quick. Kerrig is eyeing you inquisitively. Let me guess, you're standing in front of Kerrig, bounty hunter nonpareil. Because you've a mind to aid me in felling the dread Phronesis. Do I have the right of it, or do I have the right of it? What's this? If I didn't know better, I could have sworn you just suggested that you're unfamiliar with Phronesis, but that couldn't be. No sinner worth his salt could be so ignorant. Not me to elaborate. Phronesis isn't just your run-of-the-mill stray sin eater. He's one of the nastiest the realm has seen, formed from the remains of one of those God's-damned warriors of light. There are 4 of them all told, crawled up from the bowels of the deepest hell after being buried for nigh on a century, if the tales are true. People have come to call them the cardinal virtues. Before he was transformed into a sin eater, Phronesis was none other than Archmagus Nialbert, whose baleful magics were feared the realm over. Though it's only been a few short years since he first showed up in Amarang, he's already preyed on far too many innocents with his foul sorcery. Not keen on seeing their trade routes disrupted, the local merchants have placed a healthy bounty on his head. I can't talk right now. Of course, I'd like nothing more than to fell the fiend single-handed and claim the entire bounty for myself. Unfortunately, circumstances have dictated that I recruit a companion. That's where you come in. Provided that you can prove to me that you possess the rather specialized set of skills that I require. I have a very specific set of skills. I promise it'll make it worth your while. Not a bad offer, wouldn't you say? If you fancy yourself up to the task, come find me in Amarang. I mean to set off for there presently. We will tackle that one later. I need to go up to Crystalline Mean. It's Catless. Well, what a coincidence. I was just reading over a letter I received from Grenell not long ago. He says a visitor from the Crystarium found him at the bottom of the ocean, and that he inspired him to teach new artistic heights. Well, I can only think of one person capable of both feats, though I'd say the latter is far more impressive. To think fate would bring the two of you together in such a place. I'm sorry? You mean the Exarch didn't tell us the whole story of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever he's left unsaid, I'm all ears. Alright, we have to go to the Cabinet of Curiosity. Man, this would be such a great library to have at my house. I'd love it. I love to read. Morin says, no, this can't be. Surely there is at least one book here that does not cast the Warriors of Light and their deeds in such a negative light. Gav, forgive me. The Cabinet of Curiosity has been bustling with visitors of late, but I fear our repository lacks for the knowledge they seek. The people wish to know the truth of the flood, of the Warriors of Light. I've searched high and low, but alas, every account portrays them as no better than sin-eaters, abominations worthy only of scorn and resentment. I knew they were not always judged so harshly, but I can find no proof, and I dare call myself a librarian. Gav's going, it's okay, it's okay. You would address the people and tell them the truth of the Warriors of Light, of the flood? How wonderful! You've regaled me with the tale once before, but I should love to hear it again. and you may be assured I will not come alone. Alright. Speak with Alfino. Go over by the Dussel Gate again. Oh, my legs! I gotta find the door out now. There it is. Ishtola says, those I spoke with at the orchard and the rookery were quite keen to hear what we have to say. For as much hope as they have for the future, the scars of the past weigh heavily on them still. Riajna says, 'tis good to see the people of the Crystarium so eager to learn the truth. And with this newfound knowledge of the past, they will at last be able to look to the future with eyes unclouded. There you are. Between the four of us, I dare say we've swept the Crystarium from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for the people to gather.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
We're gonna nod everybody to death?
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
Like, wait, you're gonna make me talk?
Wicked White. The Warriors of Light did all that?
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too, in the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air.
Gav said more in a few minutes than he said in the entire expansion. Uh-oh.
Impossible.
You can see him too? I take it I'm not imagining this then?
I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
Nay, yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
No, Over there stands no ghost, but a warrior of light and darkness, both Ardbert.
What in the world?
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
That it should be the warrior of darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time, though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium, I am Ardbert, one of those you know as a warrior of light.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass. The hero who stands before you now, the warrior of darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when he must return to his home. But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light.
What? Us? Warriors of light?
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure. But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former. Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony.
So, from your own lips, we heard about Ardbert's fate, and by the look on your face, I gather you are not inclined to take back what you said?
Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired unto the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
So, whoever this guy may be, you know, he speaks some truth and it resonates with the citizens. If we voice our doubts here and now, it'll only, you know, cause disquiet. It'd be better if we return to the ocular and discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
Gav is not happy. I imagine it's as much the falsehoods as it is, you know, somebody taking his name.
So, that is a warrior of light of the first. I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
No, absolutely not. It looks like him and sounds like him, but it isn't him.
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yet that which standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not. Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
Uh-oh.
That he is an Ascian.
I'm surprised she couldn't see that.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree. From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the Virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Ascian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus. That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form, and cognizant no doubt of Emmett Selk's failure here in the first, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen? My, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Verily, for they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light. On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. It was only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
And they have gained much by it. Emmett Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while La Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion.
Yeah, it has to be noted that the Ascians can't, use every, body. If they were able to do so, they, nobody would be better than, the Warrior of Light.
Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Yeah, maybe the blessing of light shields Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascians, or perhaps there's something else going on. We can't say for certain.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Yeah, that is, I hadn't thought about that before.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps? Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary. I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe as either wise or prudent.
I won't defend my actions, which I did in pursuit of a better understanding of Ascians. It wasn't wise or prudent.
Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful.
But, you know, the information I did get can prove useful now.
Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat.
Okay, Elidibus possesses a very subtle mind. He's practiced in the art of manipulation. And he, you know, it's no small thing that he coaxed the first most valiant heroes as far as the source with nothing but, you know, half-truths.
And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Well, now I think he is employing his skills again to some unknown end. Nothing's certain, but if my suspicions are true, then we'll need all of our wits to uncover and then thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association. That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
Yeah, I don't know if Gav would be overly concerned with guilt by association, because he's not going to be in the first forever, right?
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
It seems Alphino is already is thinking about pursuing him, and I imagine one pair of eyes will be better than, you know, a bunch more of us, you know, for maintaining secrecy. So let's the rest of us maintain a, you know, a distance that's inconspicuous, at least for the present. Night World Silver Piece. What's Urianger say? We must not act until Ardbert, air quotes, hath made plain his plans. 'Twould be folly to proclaim him false at this juncture. It'd be foolish to call him, you know, false Ardbert at this point. We must not act until this Ascian has made his plans plain. Stola says, we were a hair's breadth from defeat when we faced Emetzelk, and now we must contend with yet another Ascian. We must tread carefully. Eklud, what a despicable practice appropriating corpses. Such depravity eclipses any horrors I witnessed in the age of Verbert. They must be stopped. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that is really gross. Yeah. With furrowed brow, the Crystal Exarch deliberates your next move. You did well to dispel the falsehoods surrounding the Warriors of Light and their actions prior to the Flood. Though I must say the reappearance of Ardbert, or rather one who appropriated his identity, was a rather curious development. He is an impostor, of that there is no doubt, but to the masses he will appear as a hero returned from the grave. Becklug says, after the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Eulmore, the people prayed fervently for the gods to deliver them from their plight. Prayed that these fallen heroes be born again for their sacrifices. What bitter irony. Stolas, I for one would like to know why Ardbert urged the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. Raja says, ere we take action, we must needs ascertain his intent. Before we take action, we have to figure out what he means, or what he wants. Let us pray that Master Alphino returneth soon with that most essential knowledge. Well, let's hope Alphino returns very quickly with that, essential information. For now, I think it best to apprise Thancred and Reen of our efforts. When we do confront Ardbert, we shall no doubt have need of their strength. Okay, for now, I think it's best to let Thancred and Reen know what we're doing. And because when we do confront Ardbert, we'll need them also. Agreed. I think it prudent we all take measures to prepare for what's to come. Becklug and I will continue our research into how we might improve the spirit vessel, that it might one day carry you home. Then I think it time I return to the Great Wood. Until now, everything we have learned of the Ascians has been handed to us at their leisure. But that was one of Emmett Selk's unique failings. I have no reason to think Elidibus will be as forthcoming. Fortunately, I recently received word from Fanau that heretofore unexplored chambers have been discovered deep within the Kitana Ravel. Amit believes the relics within tell of a great calamity that befell an ancient civilization. That of the Ascians, perhaps. They may lead us to the truths we seek. Would you care for company, or be sure to let me know how that works out? I think he's legitimately saying, let me know how that goes. I fail to see why that would be necessary, given that you will be accompanying me. Don't be coy. It doesn't suit you. Kev's going, what? She's figured me out. When you are ready, make for Fanau. Amit and her sisters will be expecting us. Ryasha says, then let us be about our tasks. Pray, give my regards to the V's. Does Becklug have anything? I will help the Exarch in any way I can, but the key to solving our problem lies with him and the Allegan Eye. Though I would like to join you in untangling the Ascians' machinations, I think it best I stay here and devote my energies to finding a way to deliver the Scions back into the source. Okay. We are going to leave it here for today. We made quite a bit of progress. Gonna do a cat joke. Alright. What do cats call a big pile of laundry? A mountain to climb. A mountain to climb. Alright. Here's a cat joke again. Why can't a group of cats get together to play cards? There are too many cheetahs. Alright, cats and kittens, if you can help us out, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. Next week, we will continue a Sleep Disturbed and continue on our quest to figure out who Ardbert is and to figure out a way to get the Scions home. And see what more we can do. Alright. Cats and kittens, you have a great one. Mama Cat Gamer is signing out.